Burada binlerce yıl önce Kıbrıs adasında şekillenen bir kültür. İnsan elinin toprağı sanata dönüştürdüğü, yaşamın izlerini seramiklerde saklayan bir zamanın öyküsüne hoş geldiniz. Vounous sadece bir yerleşim değil, aynı zamanda kilin dile geldiği, yaşamın seramik forumlarda dondurulduğu bir kültür merkeziydi. Bu toprak binlerce yıl önce çömlekçiler için bir hazineydi. Kilin dokusu, içindeki mineral çeşitliliği ve renk paleti. İşte bu özel bileşim, Vounous seramiklerinin kendisine has karakterini oluşturuyordu. Kilden bir hamur parçası, usta ellerde bir hikaye kitabına dönüşür. İşte kırmızı astarın gizemi. Demir oksitçe zengin topraklar, yüksek ısının ateşinde parlak bir renge bürünerek zamana meydan okuyan bu seramiklere kimlik kazandırır. Bu objeler sadece günlük hayatın araçları değil, aynı zamanda inançların, toplumsal ilişkilerin ve ritüellerin sessiz tanıklarıydı. Zaman geçti, nesiller değişti ama bu seramikler hala bizimle konuşuyor. Onlar tarihimize, köklerimize bir pencere. Sanatın ve emeğin insanoğlunun benliğini nasıl şekillendirdiğinin birer yansıması. Geçmişin izlerine dokunduğumuz bu kısa yolculukta bir toprağın, bir kültürün sesini dinledik. Bu seramikler, geçmişten bugüne uzanan sessiz ama anlamlı bir köprü olarak bizlere fısıldamaya devam ediyor. Binlerce yıl önce toprağa şekil veren ellerle, bugün bu kültürü yeniden yorumlayan sanatçıların elleri arasında bir köprü var. Bu bağ, Vounous Uluslararası Sempozyumunda her yıl yeniden filizleniyor. Bu toprağın hikayesi gelecek nesillerle yaşar. İşte bu çocuklar, Vounouts'un binlerce yıllık mirasını ellerinde yeniden keşfederken, kültürün sürekliliğinin de anahtarı oluyorlar. Geçmişten miras aldığımız bu kültür, bugün sanatçıların ve gençlerin ellerinde yeniden şekilleniyor.
Vounous is an annual symposium in Northern Cyprus dedicated to the recreation of Bronze Age ceramics. It's held every year during the first 2 weeks of September. The symposium invites artists and archaeologists from around the world to participate in making pottery and experimenting with ancient techniques and materials. The name of the symposium derives from the name of the Bronze Age culture that was located in the foothills of the Beshparmak Mountains near Çatalköy. The symposium is held next to the site of the Bronze Age necropolis of Vounous. From the beginning, the purpose of the symposium was to create an environment where artists and archaeologists could collaborate in order to recreate, preserve, and to educate the public about the Bronze Age heritage of the region. The Vounous Symposium created a community of artists, archaeologists, and other scholars to explore ancient crafts, replicate ancient pottery, and interact with the public. The Vounous Symposium not only provides a venue for the replication of artifacts, but it is also instrumental to understanding the culture and society of the region in the Bronze Age. Recreating these figures not only recreates the object, but is also an important element in teaching the cultural history through the medium of craft. In this way, the symposium not only provides a venue for experimental archaeology and artists, but also gives visitors new insights into history and a heightened appreciation for the objects they see in museums. For the past 8 years, Vounous has grown into a community of people who work together, sharing ideas and techniques. It is truly an international collaboration that brings people from different countries and cultures, as well as creating a new environment that connects craft, education, and archaeology. The symposium emphasizes the use of Bronze Age techniques and technology. Whenever possible, the use of modern tools and equipment is avoided. This not only gives the artists and archaeologists greater insight into how crafts were produced in antiquity, but also gives a clearer understanding to visitors about how people lived without modern equipment and technology. The artisans who come to Vounous do not only replicate objects from the region's archaeological material culture, but also experiment with materials and techniques to understand how they were made. An example of the experimental work done at Vounous is Rauf Ersenal's work in recreating the typical red pottery found in the area. Vounous pottery is known for its brick red pigment. Rauf Ersenal knew that the red lining applied to the ceramic body was obtained from a natural material containing high levels of iron oxide. When he used some yellow clay that was excavated from the gorge below the Vounous necropolis to build a copper smelting furnace, he noticed that after the furnace had been used, the clay had turned a dark red. He later took a sample of the clay and heated it to 850 to 900 degrees centigrade, and then crushed it to a powder. This was then mixed with clay and water, filtered and allowed to settle. The resulting clay body was shaped into pots and burnished when it was leather hard, and then fired in a pit furnace. An article with more detailed description of the process is being prepared for publication. This is an example of the ongoing research and experiments that are encouraged at Vounous. Public engagement is another core of the symposia. Students from regional high schools and universities worked with artists and archaeologists in order to learn more about craft technology, regional heritage, and archaeology. During the symposium, the public is invited to see the artists recreating statuary, working on ceramics, and casting metal. After the symposium is finished, the site was host to students ranging from grade school to university students. The classes provided time to learn about the region's prehistory while immersed in the landscape situated adjacent to the Bronze Age cemetery. The symposium is also featured in the local and regional press and television news reports. Videos of the symposium are circulated on YouTube and social media. The objects made at the symposia are not only on display at the symposium site, but are also exhibited at local schools and public venues that include local hotels and resorts. There have also been special exhibitions at the Selimia Mosque in Nicosia. In this way, the symposium not only provides a venue for experimental archaeology and artists, but also gives a wider range of appreciation of Cyprus's culture to visitors to the island, and a heightened appreciation for the objects they see in museums. The ultimate plan is to develop an open-air museum where people can see artists working and living in a recreation of Bronze Age environment, including a reproduction of an intact burial of Vounous shaft tomb. Space would be made available for classes where visitors can attend talks and lectures, or have opportunities to learn and work with clay, textiles, glass, and metals. Rather than a 2-week symposium, the work of Vounous would continue throughout the year. The symposium and festival are successful. They meet the goals for engagement and education about the archaeology and rich heritage of the island. Recreating these figures not only recreates the object, but also an important element in teaching cultural history through the medium of craft. Through experimental archaeology, researchers and the public can understand the technology, techniques, and use of resources that go into making objects seen in museum exhibits. Artists gain an understanding of past techniques and the development of their craft, creating a sense of cultural continuity. The greater community benefits from experiencing the local history, creating a sense of connection to the past. The classes and exhibits have been the next step in the goal of creating a permanent open-air museum. Thank you.